Welcome back to Give Me Credit. I'm J.S. Waldo, author of Mortgage Lending Explained, and with me today as always, is our beautiful credit guru, John Mackey.
How are you?
Hi, good. How are you?
Good.
John is the author of Credit Genius. You can find us both on Substack at John's at creditgenius.substack.com and I'm at jswaldo.substack.com. You can find Give Me Credit on both of our Substack pages and on many podcast platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, and more. We're showing up all over. Please, if you can, please like, subscribe, ring that bell. It helps us more than you know. Follow along wherever you'd like to listen or watch. We also invite you to send us your comments and questions. We answer every single last one of them personally. Now, today on Give Me Credit, we're talking about something most Americans never stop to think about. Should a credit bureau, the company watching and scouring your financial life, also make money selling you credit cards and loans? Because somewhere along the way, the umpire stepped out from behind home plate, picked up a bat, and joined the game, while still calling the strikes. And most people barely noticed. Now, let me be clear. This is not me or John saying credit is evil. Credit can help people buy homes, start businesses, handle emergencies, and build opportunities. But the problem starts when the company grading your financial behavior also profits from selling you more debt. That changes the relationship. So most people don't, or I should say, most people still think Experian is just a credit bureau.
Yeah.
But John, when did that change?
Well, JS, it kind of happened slowly at first. Credit bureaus mainly collected information like your payments, your balances, your collections, and account history. Then credit scores became more advanced. Then companies started using behavior tracking and predictive systems. Now the same company studying your financial habits can also make money recommending credit cards and loans to you. Now that's a big change. The issue is not that Experian created debt by itself. Oh, they've got their players in their corner. You know, banks, lenders, consumers all play a role. The issue is that the company watching the game is now playing it.
Yeah. To you, this arrangement feels unethical. We've talked about this in the past. Explain why you feel this way.
Well, I believe the gatekeepers, which is what Experian is, along with the other credit bureaus, should stay neutral. Their job, from what they tell us, is that they're to gather data, report it accurately, and stay the hell out of the sales business. Now, imagine if your heart doctor, so you go to the doctor, and he said, you're you're going to need some medication here. But you know what? I've got a cheeseburger. You know what I'm trying to say here. Cheeseburgers in the lobby. You can purchase one of those. Or let's say you've been arrested and you've got a parole officer. And they sell getaway cars after work. Or the referee started betting on the game he was officiating.
There you go.
At some point, common sense starts to yell. That is the problem I have with companies like Experian. The issue is not simply that they collect data. Credit bureaus were originally presented as neutral repositories. That's what they told us. Companies gathered information so lenders could evaluate risk.
Yeah, and that's a very good point. You've said in the past that consumers are becoming the product. You've used that term. But what do you mean exactly?
Well, people think they're getting free services, free scores, free monitoring, free alerts, just like credit karma. But I've always said when the product is free, you are the product. And that's exactly what's going on here. So if you're not paying for it, wink, wink, you're paying for it. They want your information, your financial information. They want to market to you. The company is making money another way, as I stated. through advertising, affiliate payments, lead generation, and targeted marketing. That means your attention, your habits, and your borrowing behavior become valuable products. Now, that doesn't automatically mean evil intent, but consumers should understand how the system works.
Yeah, instead of what they're saying, which is we're here to provide this free service. Why
Right.
do words like pre-approved affect people so strongly? Is it a psychological sales strategy?
You know, approval feels emotional. Everybody wants to be approved. When people see, congratulations, or you're qualified, or you've been selected, and then you've got those no ding declines now. So a person that feels he might be iffy and getting along will try because it will not negatively affect them through a score drop. They often feel successful or accepted. It is a psychological manipulative game. Words trigger people into doing something they might not do. What it really means is the system believes this person will be profitable. That is very different. Casinos do the same thing. They reward gamblers they expect to make money from. Modern credit marketing uses a similar psychology.
You talk about dependency a lot. Why? How does this play into it?
Yeah, I have. The financial industry often makes more money when people carry balances for years. We know that's when they make their money. It's been proven. Someone paying no interest usually makes less money for the lenders than someone carrying debt month after month. Believe it or not, in this business, they are called deadbeats. People that pay the balances are called deadbeats. I find that so ironic.
Yeah.
That's not a conspiracy. That's simply how interest works. Now, again, debt itself is not bad. The problem starts when stressed people keep using borrowing as the answer to the everyday financial problem. That can slowly create dependency.
That makes sense. You've also said, I read a lot of your stuff, clearly. You said credit reporting now looks a lot like surveillance capitalism. Can you explain that?
Yeah, years ago, credit reporting mostly looked at past behavior. Systems study patterns, payment timing, spending habits, utilization, and signs of financial stress. The system is no longer only asking, can this person repay the debt? Now it also asks, what is this person likely to do next? And that's the new FICO 10T. And that changes everything because once behavior becomes predictable, marketing becomes more easier, or maybe just easier, and more targeted.
So, if this is such a big issue, why aren't more people talking about it, John?
Because I don't think they realize they're so used to Credit Karma and what they've done, they just accept it. And the marketing sounds friendly. Everything sounds helpful. This offer is tailored just for you. It's designed around your needs, financial wellness, smart matches. But marketing can still be marketing even when it sounds carrying. And honestly, most Americans are exhausted. They're just tired and tuckered out. Inflation, housing costs, insurance bills, and debt pressure have people stressed out. When people are overwhelmed, they usually look for relief, not business conflicts. And companies understand that very well. Do you know how much income is made by credit card companies off of interest alone? Now, according to Wallet Hub, it's north of 250 billion per year.
Wow. Interest alone. Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's switch gears a little bit. Let's talk about reward cards. Are consumers beating the system with reward cards, or is the system beating them?
It's a great question. Everybody thinks that they got a leg up on it, and they don't. Some people are absolutely use rewards cards wisely. That part is true, but it's some people.
Mhm.
Rewards systems are also designed to influence behavior. They encourage spending, loyalty, and emotional attachment to the card. Meanwhile, the companies behind those programs usually understand the math much better than the average consumer. The house usually knows the game better than the players.
That's so true.
Yeah.
John, you separate education from marketing. Why?
Well, real education teaches independence. It teaches people how scores work, how lenders think, and how debt affects risk. Marketing teaches consumption. It says, here's another product. The problem today is that education, advertising, and marketing are often blended together so smoothly that many consumers cannot tell the difference anymore.
Yeah. So what do you think the listeners should take away from this conversation?
First, stop assuming the system is completely neutral. Second, understand there is not just one credit score. There are many scoring systems in many models. Third, understand that behavior matters more than ever. Utilization, payment patterns, and financial stress all matter. And finally, don't confuse approval with success. Just because someone offers you debt doesn't mean it improves your life. In many cases, it does not. Sometimes it simply means the system sees a chance to make money.
Yeah, I think that's the key. John, once people understand this, it's hard to unsee it.
It is. The goal here is not fear, it's understanding. Consumers deserve to know that today's credit system is increasingly built around prediction, behavior, marketing, and profit. And when the same company grading your financial behavior also profits from selling you debt products, people should ask tougher questions. Because when the umpire joins the game, people should probably pay closer attention to the scorekeeper. And
Mhm.
let's be clear about one thing. Selling credit cards to some people is like selling drugs to an addict. That is a much bigger rabbit hole that I'm not gonna go down that now. But how much money does Experian make on the sale of credit cards alone? And it's all about the money.
Mhm.
Nobody really knows because Experian doesn't disclose that. What we do know is this. Experian openly operates affiliate and referral programs tied to credit cards, loans, identity products, credit monitoring, and financial marketplaces.
Mhm.
Experian gets enormous traffic from consumers checking their credit scores, reports, and alerts. That traffic is not small. It is measured in the tens of millions of consumers. That is not a tiny side hustle anymore. That is the umpire selling hot dogs to one team while calling balls and strikes.
Yeah. And on top of that, while I think that the majority of people utilize the free version, Experian also sells themselves. So pay for more information like that FICO score that's not free, pay for this more information and then we're going to sell you even more. Crazy stuff,
Yeah,
John. It's crazy
yeah.
stuff.
I've done some digging and it's going to come out in a further information about the amount of money that Experian makes on a gross basis.
Mhm.
And it is phenomenal the amount of money they make. And it's a worldwide organization. And
Yeah.
it's just plain scary. You know, we
Which,
live
like
our
you
life.
said, started out as the neutral umpire. That's how it sold itself to
Right,
us.
right, right. And through my research, I'm finding that Credit Karma was kind of a testing ground to allow Experian to monetize what they're doing. And now they're going to take, I'm not sure they're going to supplant Credit Karma, but they're going to be utilized in the same fashion.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, John, for all this information. This has been Give Me Credit. We're going to call this episode right here. I'm going to ask you again, please like, subscribe, ring that bell, and follow along in upcoming episodes. We have another guest sharing their knowledge of all things credit. You won't want to miss this. As I stated earlier, feel free to send us any questions, comments. We invite your input and topics you would like us to cover that would enhance your financial life. Thank you, John, of course, for everything and all the information. We look forward to future conversations with you. As always, I'm
Yep.
J.S. Waldo, author of Mortgage Lending Explained. Again, this is our credit guru, John Mackey, author of Credit Genius. You can find us both on Substack. Follow along there at creditgenius.substack.com and myself at jswaldo.substack.com. Thanks for listening to Give Me Credit. Have a great day. Thanks,
You
John.
do that so well. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.